Hi everyone, Happy New Year, welcome to 2025. I can't thank you all enough for what an amazing year 2024 has been. Not only on the channel here, for all the new subscribers, welcome. I love having you here every week. And also in the store, we've had another fantastic year at the Dahliasewciety. We've had 12 incredible boxes. I'm going to take you through today every single dress that I made for 2024. And I'll also have another separate vlog for all the separates that I made for 2024. Otherwise, this will go for literally hours. So I wanted to focus today on dresses. I also want to take you through each outfit I've made, each box we presented for 2024 for the Dahliasewciety. So we had 4 incredible deluxe boxes and we had 8 regular bespoke boxes. So every season we do a special deluxe box with designer fabric, and you get 3 meters of fabric in that special box. So the next one of those will be in February. I know a lot of you wait for those because of the extra meterage, but the January box will be heading out on the 12th. There's 2 of my favorite standouts this year, and I would say the one I'm wearing is probably my most favorite make of the year, and I made it in the last month, and I think that happens every year. I think that happened last year and the year before as well. It's really funny how it ends up being, you know, you experiment, you sew throughout the year, you find things that you love, and you rediscover patterns that you haven't made for many years as well. And this is exactly that. This is the Pattern Fantastic Varley dress pattern, and I never made it in a dress before. I've made it in a blouse and really loved it. But I think the thing with me is that I found the perfect fabric, which is a Fabric Godmother viscose Henry crepe. That is currently out of stock. I haven't been able to source any more of it, but I think it's sold out twice, and the third time it came in, I managed to grab myself about 2.5 meters. I wanted to make this beautiful Pattern Fantastic Varley dress. So definitely can see another blouse on the cards for this. I made this one with the deeper V, so it has the 2 ties, but I really love it. I think what I love most is the crepe fabric. I think it really does the pattern justice. The pattern works beautifully in viscose, in linen viscose blend, in crepes and chiffons, but anything with a really nice amount of drape and softness tends to really do justice to the beautiful billowy sleeves. And I've seen it made in cotton and linens before. It does give a lot of volume to the sleeve, which a lot of people love that. I prefer more of the sort of demure, drapey style billowy sleeve, especially for this pattern. So the viscose crepe works beautifully for it. So really love the neckline. You can undo the first tie and have the second one done up, or you can go for the other option, which is just the 1 tie. Now, I did state in the vlog that I followed Sarah from Sewing Therapy's Sew Along, and I found it really helped me with the pattern, just to have that hand held through the way. So if you're not quite confident with a lot of the techniques in this pattern, the Sewing Therapy Sew Along is fabulous. Probably number 1 of my makes this year. Now, back in January, I had a favorite pattern company that I just discovered called Seasons of East Pattern, and I wanted to make both of their newer dresses. Now, the particular one I'm talking about, you'll all know, is the Seasons of East Summer in New York dress. I wanted to make a 12 because I wasn't confident with the sizing. I knew it didn't have a lot of ease. It was quite fitted through the body. So I had some really lovely viscose twill in my stash in a really nice ink color. Now, I sewed that up quite quickly. I thought it was going to be a little bit more of an involved make, but it really wasn't. It was such a lovely make. It has a really nice sort of deep plunging V neckline, but quite a high kind of neck at the back. So you don't have a lot of openness at the neck, even though it's a plunging neck. It's a deep kind of V, and you still have that nice shoulder coverage. So I think I ended up grading in my pattern. I will have to have a look back at the measurements, what I made, but I always do a bit of grading with my patterns. I find I need to grade because I don't have bigger shoulders. I've got quite sloping, narrow shoulders, so I always usually do a 14 shoulder, a 16 bust, and usually 18 to 20 around the waist, depending on the pattern and the amount of ease in it. And especially with this one, with being quite a figure-hugging dress, it tends to give a beautiful, almost looks like a bias cut fit to it, even though it's not. It has a really lovely shaped skirt. And I definitely want to make another one of these. And it reminds me of another favorite pattern of mine that I haven't made for quite a while, called the Lois Dress by Tizzuti Patterns. Has a similar kind of feel to it, a similar fit on the body, but a bit different in the neckline. So I really enjoyed making the Seasons of East Summer in New York. It has got nice darts on the back and the front and a really lovely invisible zip side. So it fits beautifully on. Can highly recommend making that one. Just a gorgeous dress and very simple but different. There's not a lot out there like this pattern. So while I was on the Seasons of East train, I decided to make their other newer pattern, which was the Autumn in New York dress. So lovely Lady McElroy Chloe chambray, which is a linen and viscose blend. Now this again doesn't have a lot of ease throughout the body. It's quite a neater sort of dress. So I sized up, I think I went up through the 18 through the body. It's quite a neat fit at the bust as well. So it's, I think, drafted for B cup, which is what I am in sewing. I'm heading towards a C, between B and C cup for sewing. So if you are more of a D cup or up, you will probably have to do a full bust adjustment on this dress because there is not a lot of room. That's one thing I found with it when I made it. It has got a really lovely frill around the sleeve, which is delicate and really different. And I love the kind of almost like a 20s feel it has to it. It's got a really nice asymmetric hem, which I should say not on one side. It kind of goes on both sides, which is really unusual. I think it'll be beautiful in a viscose of any kind. A nice soft viscose will really work beautifully. And I know they've styled it with a belt as well. So it is a really lovely dress and very different. They have simple designs, but very different to what's out there as well. So I love that fabric. It's called Circles of Orient. It's like big polka dots, but they're flowers encased in the polka dots. So I think polka dots are very in at the moment. So if you find some polka dot fabric, it's definitely worth grabbing it because the polka dots seem to be always a classic, especially in black and white, but they're really in having a moment at the moment. Now, our first box of the year was Summer Solstice, and it was designer fabric. Now, this fabric is the Gabriella Larios print. Absolutely stunning print. Now, this was, 3 meters we had in the box. We had some beautiful things from La La Land in there as well, little Bumblebee Diary. We had some Bondi Sands lip gloss, and we had mango, I think dried mango spears was the edible gift of the month. So I wanted to make something without interrupting this beautiful design because it looks like a fairy tale illustration. Really lovely Eco Vero viscose that was from Vahis Fabrics. And I love the colour palette and the soft pinks and lilacs as well. So I decided to go for a Wardrobe by Me pattern that I'd been eyeing off for a while. And then this pattern is not in paper format, it's only in PDF. Because as soon as it comes out in paper, I'll be getting it for the store, but it hasn't come out. A lot of them don't come out in paper format at all. But this is the Aurora dress, and you can make it in a couple of different versions with the sleeves, without. I'll pop a little tie neck, which is another little detail, quite sweet. It has a tunic sort of feel to it as well, with a really nice little frill at the bottom on the hem. But I have worn this dress so much. It is lovely and comfortable. It has almost like a caftan feel to it. So it's a really hot day. It's really swingy and lovely. And these are the dresses that I tend to reach for time and time again, rather than more close body fitted dresses when it's a really hot day. So I must make more of these dresses. I think the Aurora is a beautiful pattern. It has a really nice inset placket in the front, and that kind of neck that you can tie the tie up. If you want to have it close fitting, you can do that. And it has a really nice amount of ease throughout the body with that little bit of gathering at the front there. But a wonderful pattern. Wardrobe by Me patterns are one of my favourite pattern companies, and you'll see that in the makes that I've made here. So that was our first box of the year for January, the Summer Solstice in this beautiful Wardrobe by Me Aurora dress. Now, in February, we had a box called Midsummer Night's Dream, and I'd chosen this fabric somewhat months before that box release, especially with that box theme in mind. I absolutely love this fabric. It is a viscose again with beautiful little moons and stars throughout, like dappled throughout the ivory fabric. Has a really lovely iris flower print and a vine print throughout it as well, on a gorgeous cream background. And straight away I had seen the beautiful paper cut patterns alto dress with that really lovely neck, and I knew that Halter necks are really lovely and flattering on the body. They can be a bit tricky when you're wanting to wear a bra. You have to go for a strapless bra. But the thing I like about it, it has the thicker straps at the back. So it wasn't just backless, so you had that kind of support there. So I was so thrilled with how this dress came up. The alto is really, really beautiful, and you can make it in a top as well. The alto dress is definitely one to think of making. It's really stunning. One of my daughters, Charlotte, actually said, Mum, that's got a really lovely designer edge to it, really different and very striking and bold. And it's just so nice. It has almost like a Grecian feel to it with that soft, long line body and that really unusual tie neck. So a beautiful pattern, and the box itself was a gorgeous one. Now, last year, my obsession with block prints, of course, the Indian block prints we had in the store was ever growing, and I was wanting to make all of the Pink City collection patterns from So Different Patterns. I got through so many of them. I think there might be only one that I haven't made. That's the Tuk Tuk dress that I haven't cancelled that out. I would love to make that in the future. But I just think the block prints and the Indian screen printed fabrics go hand in hand with the beautiful So Different Pink City collection, especially like the Jyoti duster I made last year. I have loved to wear that, but I wanted to work my way through the Pink City collection dresses. Now, the beautiful Folia frock was a gorgeous one in this really lovely fabric that we had in last year. I did a really nice bias bound hem on it with some Liberty bias binding that I had in my stash. I really love blue and green together. I think it's the most striking, beautiful combination. And this block print itself is gorgeous. We do have quite a lot of block prints in store. We've had some new deliveries in the last week or so, so go and check those out in the new arrivals section. You'll love the prints we've chosen. But the Folia frock, I don't normally make sleeved dresses for summer because we do have quite hot summers, but this one I found has a really nice mid-length sleeve, and again the bias binding on those really turned out nice. But it has a really lovely boat neck, and it's a really nice kind of balloon style dress as far as the hem comes in down the bottom with these really nice darts. I'm not sure if you can see them here. But the hem kind of balloons in with that shaping. So it's a longer style dress, and I did shorten it a little bit that I did regret in the end because I think I would prefer to keep it longer. And when you take length out of the skirt, sometimes it can affect the designer's details. If they wanted that more of that balloon style hem, it can affect that if you adjust that too much. But I really love it. It's got really nice deep darts as well, so it gives a nice bit of shaping, but it's got like nice ease throughout the body. But it's definitely one that I have worn lots in spring and in autumn as well because of that sleeve length. But of course the block prints, 100% cotton, are really nice and cool to wear. I've washed that several times. It washes up beautifully in a cool, gentle wash. I don't have any problem at all with colours running and things like that. They are really nice colour fast fabrics. And don't forget the block prints are 112 wide, so you always need a little bit extra when you're wanting to make things like dresses. But that one, the Folia frock, is definitely one I love and would definitely like to think about making again. The other block print dress that I loved was a very popular dress in the store called the Mahal dress. Now this one I have seen a lot of people do in two different coordinating or clashing prints in the block prints. It looks beautiful. Has a really unusual pocket bag and skirt detail, which is so nice and swishy, a smock style I would say. Really nice square neckline at the front, and it's a higher square, which I really like. If I go too lower square, sometimes I have a problem with my sleeves falling on and off. But I really like the sleeve detail. It has a really nice darts at the end of the sleeve and a faced sleeve, which is also really lovely as well. So got a nice balloon. On the end there, you'll see it's got a gathered section. So you won't see that as much with the one print, but when you have two, you can really highlight things like those sleeve end details, and you can do things like mixing and matching bodices and skirts. But Mahal is beautiful. You can see why it's been popular in the store, especially in the block prints for summer, and also beautiful to make in a blouse as well. So different patterns are just so lovely, super detailed, really unusual, very wearable patterns. Now, when this collection came in last year from Fabric Godmother, I had my eye on this gorgeous Zani linen viscose blend in this gorgeous Matisse inspired print, and I was so confused in what to make. I really wanted to do it justice. I wanted a simple pattern and one I'd made before, so I wanted a quick sew. And I think I made this in about March from memory, and I decided to make the Hope woven dress. And of course, Style Arc Hope dress is one of their most popular patterns, with good reason why, because it's a really simple pattern to make but perfect for showcasing a print. So if you're a beginner sewist and you want something simple, something really striking and easy to wear, the Hope woven dress is perfect. You'll have it done in no time. It has a really nice raglan style sleeve. I love the height of the neck, that nice round neck. And the skirt has got gathering, but not too much gathering. You can add pockets, but I always eliminate mine because I prefer no pockets. And I know a lot of people just can't believe that, but I am a no pocket curl in my dresses. I like to eliminate the bulk on the sides, but really love the Hope dress. The skirt on it is beautiful. That fabric came up really nice, and it has been another one of my most worn dresses this year. Not only because of the beautiful fabric, but just the style itself. Really nice little elasticated sleeve. You can definitely shorten the sleeve on that if you want to make a more of a puff, shorter sleeve, you can do that. But I love also the Hope woven dress pack that you can buy with all the different options that you can do. If you love the fit of the Hope, you can get all the different necklines and sleeve versions on that extension pack as well. Now in May we had another deluxe box, and that was more Fabric Godmother designer fabric. We had this beautiful seersucker viscose cotton blend, and I decided to make kind of a rusticy dress. This is the Rustic River, of course, very popular box we had. The Take the Chance dress was perfect for that fabric. I love the fact that the placket stopped at the waist. We used some really nice little arrow mountain buttons which set off the fabric beautifully, the little chevron buttons. So I'm trying to get those up close so you can see the detail on those buttons. But the fabric itself was just beautiful. It's been a great dress to wear throughout the year, and you can team this up with tights and boots, which is what I love. Ended up putting the balloon sleeve, the Be Mine balloon sleeve onto the Take the Chance dress because I wanted to utilize that nice billowy kind of feel that it gave the dress. And I ended up putting some ties on the back as well. So I kind of did a mishmash of a couple of dresses together. But the great thing about Pattern Emporium patterns is that you can always mish and mash things, and Kate has a great list there of sleeve patterns that you can put back with certain dress patterns to get the most out of your designing your own patterns. But love that little shirt dress. I think the fabric in that is really sweet. And I'm not normally a gingham person, but I really love the seersucker fine gingham in that. We also had a version in the khaki green with the black as well. So fabulous fabric, and washes up just so soft and beautifully. One of our most popular boxes this year was our Belladonna, our Ode to Stevie Nicks boho goddess box. We absolutely love this fabric. This was a My Dress made fabric in a really lovely viscose twill in a gorgeous paisley design, and I ended up making a beautiful pattern from LB Textiles, wonderful Aussie designer, the Duplantier dress. And I'd seen this dress pictured in quite short versions, but I lengthened mine enough for me it's perfect. I also lengthened the sleeves because it is shown with a shorter sleeve, bell sort of sleeve. I definitely wanted a bell sleeve. That was my one thing that was a non-negotiable for this dress, for this box. I wanted to have that whole big sleeve drama that Stevie Nicks does so well. And the beautiful bell sleeve was easy to lengthen. Has a really lovely depth of V neck, like a curved V. But what I love about it is it has the beautiful peaked bodice you'll see underneath with the gathering, so it gives a really nice softness to it with that bit of drape. I also added ties on the back of that as well to give a bit of shaping, but that box sold out within minutes. We had sold so many of them that quickly. I really underestimated how many Stevie Nicks fans there are out there and how many of you love her aesthetic and her drama. So it definitely will be another box that we may revisit and revamp and do something a bit different within that aesthetic, because I know a lot of you were very distraught to miss out on that box. But beautiful My Dress Made France fabric. Her fabrics are just stunning. Now in July I made a beautiful Forget-Me-Not patterns dress. I don't have it out here. It's called the Callie dress. Now the lovely Jo from Forget-Me-Not wanted me to try this pattern, and it wasn't something I would normally make. It was a bit different to my regular aesthetic. But I decided to make the Callie dress. It was a button front little shirt style dress with a little sweet gathered skirt. It had a higher kind of frill around the neckline and this really lovely sleeve. I made it in a Swiss dot. I really loved how it came up. It wasn't something I would normally wear, and I haven't really worn it, but I must say a lot of you really love that on me, and I styled it with a nice little belt and a pair of boots, and it came up beautifully. So I know a lot of you went on to purchase that pattern, and her designs are very, very elegant. More of a fitted style than what I normally go for, and especially with the fitting around the bust, but she does concentrate on fitted garments and, you know, specializing in the fit of the bodice area. I would say that dress would be kind of cottagecore design. So not something I would normally wear, but definitely came up beautiful. And I know a lot of you love that dress on me. So that was for, I think that was July. Another July make that I made in this beautiful fabric that I had from a couple of years ago. It was a dead stock designer fabric in a nice, I think it was just a poly jersey fabric. But I knew I wanted to make something to wear out for my birthday, and I ended up making, started to make a dress. It didn't turn out it didn't turn out right. For the body, it was way too fitted. It wasn't very flattering on me. I wanted something a bit more fit and flare style. So I used the bodice from the Own Your Magic dress with that really nice shape V. I was very happy with the bodice and the sleeve, but I ended cutting off the skirt and using the fit and flare skirt, which is much more my cup of tea. So it's great when you can morph two patterns together to make your ideal pattern. So again, Emporim patterns there, mashed up two together, and I must say the fit and flare worked beautifully in this fabric, and I love wearing this. It's one of my favorite dresses. I love the colors. As you can see, I love earthy colors as well as brights, but that pop of that orangey red really did it for me. It has a bit of a mid-century modern vibe with the colors and the print, and I added on a nice cuff at the bottom. Love wearing this with some tan boots for winter time, but a beautiful little easy knit dress. You can see I'm moving gradually because the sun's just starting to peek over the roof and getting really annoying on top of my head there. This was a birthday dress I made in July for myself. This is the Wardrobe by Me Maran dress. I love this leopard print ponte we got in. It was very, very popular. We had the espresso colorway and the charcoal colorway. I'd seen it done in short sleeves, really loved it, and wanted to make it in the longer sleeve for winter. The ponte is probably a little bit heavier than what they would recommend for this dress, but it worked really well. There isn't the amount of stretch in this ponte. I think the Wardrobe by Me Maran calls for a little bit more stretch than what this has, but in saying that, I just sized up a little bit around the bust area to make sure it wasn't too tight and it was perfect. So you can always look at that. If you have a knit fabric that isn't enough stretch, or that the stretch percentage isn't high enough, you can size up to make sure that the fabric has that right amount of stretch. And most pontes, viscose pontes, have quite a good stretch. This one is more of a dense kind of ponte and perfect for things like blazers and pull-on ponte pants. The dress itself worked really well, but you'll see that the skirt hasn't got the drape that it probably would need, but I really liked it. It would probably suit more of a wrap style ponte dress better, but I really liked the way it came up, and I felt amazing in it, and I wore that quite a bit with some black boots and tights for the colder days. Shirt dresses are one of my favorite things ever. To find a knit shirt dress is really unusual. I loved that, and I think it worked really well. You can sew down the placket if you don't want the buttons to be popping open as well, which always works well. You can see I'm moving my way around the garden because of that sun, so hopefully it's not distracting you guys too much. But you'll know that Frocktails, of course, this beautiful fabric godmother Sundance fabric was one that I absolutely loved when it came in, and I did have another dress in mind for Frocktails, and the fabric didn't eventuate. It was a Lady Mackerel fabric I had my eye on. They ended up having production problems, so it got to the last minute, and I decided to pull out this fabric and make it into a beautiful dress. And the one I had chosen was all based around some cowboy boots that I had managed to find from Diana Ferrari, and it was a cream pair of cowboy boots which I fell in love with, and I thought I could make myself a little dress to go with those, and it really ended up being a perfect match. And this was a very popular pattern in store, I must say, probably up there with the Telly and the Buttons Nell, which we need to restock. That and this Mason Fauve Cuba Libre would be my two most popular patterns sold in 2024. They have sold so many. I think we've reordered it at least 4 or 5 times and they keep selling out. And no wonder, because it's a beautiful little dress on. It has a gorgeous little fluted cap sleeve, and the dress itself has a lovely bodice shape with a V. I love V necklines. It seems to be my favorite neckline to go for. What I love about this, there is no zip. It's got a fully elastic back there, and you'll see the front has no elastic, just has a nice bit of gathering there. So really looks gorgeous on. And the skirt itself has like panels through it, so there's not the amount of gathering that you normally get with a fuller skirt. So really classy, elegant design. Love that sleeve. That would have to be one of my favorite sleeves, because I wanted something that wasn't sleeveless. I didn't want long sleeves, and you know, your big billowy puff sleeves are very in at the moment, but I wanted something a bit different for this fabric, and I was so happy with how the Cuba Libre came up. So definitely a standout dress for me for the year. I love the little party, made to party little rosy cheeks label, and loved it with boots. My feet were comfy all night. I didn't have to worry about high heels that were killing my feet. Accessorized with some beautiful little sun and moon matching earrings. But really the fabric is just so unusual and different with the little horse. The rodeo print's really big this year, isn't it? You see it everywhere, and it's not going anywhere. It's been quite popular. But really love the little sun, the celestial designs in that dress. It is just beautiful. So definitely would make that again. Love it. Can highly recommend the Cuba Libre from Mason Faux Patterns. Another dress I made this year, I don't have it out here at the moment. I forgot it's in the cupboard still, but it is the Matea dress from Chizuti Patterns. I made it in quite a heavy linen. Now, I probably wouldn't make it in a heavier linen again. I found that it was just a bit too consuming, a bit heavy, but of course, the drape in a linen viscose would be much better, or even a linen cotton. Also, it would be beautiful in a viscose, a nice soft drapey viscose or a print. But I made the Matea because I really love the kind of capped sleeve. It had a long line skirt with a kind of a drop waist. I'm not sure whether the drop waist is for me. I don't think it suits me. I think I need a little bit more shaping or tie back feature, but I really enjoyed making it, and I think Chizuti Patterns have got a really nice modern edge to their patterns. In saying that, the Matea top I have worn to death in my African wax print, which I'll show you in the next vlog. So that dress was made towards the first half of the year in a really lovely iris color linen, but just a tad too heavy, that linen, for the fabric, and I just decided to make it with what I had. But probably if I made it again, I'd make it in a lighter weight linen. Now, when I was trying to work out what to do with my Frocktails dress, I decided to make a Queenie dress from Style Art Patterns, and I had some viscose in the stash here that was from Spotlight about 3 years ago now, and I really was happy with the fit. It was beautiful on, and I would highly recommend making this Queenie dress. The only thing I'm not sure about is the higher neck. I think it's a little bit high for me for summer, but I love the fit of it. Now, what has inspired me now is to go and look at the Trini dress, because it looks like a similar kind of fit, and they have different options for the neckline. They have your V necklines and all the different crossovers, different styles. The Queenie dress doesn't have the options for the neck. It has just the high round neck, but it has different options for the sleeve, and the sleeve in this was made in the short sleeve. You can also do the longer or elbow length sleeve with the frill around the bottom, and you can also do the frill around the hem of the dress. So a really lovely dress, very simple in this design, but love Starlight dresses. They're always one of my favorite dresses. When I get them on, they fit beautifully. You'll see this was a favorite of mine again. We've just restocked the patterns. The Rita dress from Name Pattern. I've made this a couple of years ago. I loved it so much. Decided to go ahead and make another one. I extended the sleeves just a little bit, but now I kind of regret that, because I probably would need them a bit shorter for summer now, and I probably should have left them. But you know what it's like when you're not quite ready for spring, summer weather, and it's still a bit chilly. When I made it, I decided to lengthen it, but that would be really easy to fix up, I think. This is from a Cosette fabric, the June viscose, beautiful print. Lovely geometric. I love this dress. I've worn it lots already. You'll see I wore it out to our high tea. I've worn it quite a bit throughout the cooler months with some boots, and now for summer with like little sandals and trainer shoes. I love the drawstring waist. It gives that nice bit of shaping. I ended up adding a couple of extra buttons because I have a bit of a chunkier style Arrow Mountain glitter button on there. but love how it came up. I think the side splits are a perfect height as well, and the shaping in the waist is gorgeous. So a really lovely shirt dress if you like a nice shaped drawn in waistline. That's the Rita from Named Patterns. And Named Patterns have a brand new collection launching on the 16th of January that we have ready to go. I can't wait to show you guys this collection. It is stunning. There are quite a few new patterns, but we have got their new Lavissa dress pattern in store. It's a gorgeous little denim dress pattern. If you're interested, that is in the new arrivals on our website. But the new collection, of course, 16th of January, I think 16th or 17th. It's a worldwide release, so we have to wait. But I can't wait to show you their gorgeous patterns that are coming out. So there's such beautiful pattern makers and very thoughtfully designed from Finland. So that is my Rita. We love Bridgerton. I love watching Bridgerton this year. I watched the whole last season. I'm up to date with everything, and I absolutely love the whole Regency theme. Our twins went to a Regency ball in Melbourne with their friend Brie, and they all dressed up and said it was an amazing night out. And it really got me thinking about a Regency inspired box. And of course for October we had the Regency garden party, which a lot of you loved. This beautiful fabric. We do still have this fabric in store, so if you're wanting to purchase the fabric, the boxes are all gone, but the fabric is still there. I made the Mason sewing Daphne dress. Of course Daphne from Bridgerton, it's all themed after that, isn't it? But I did have a few little issues with this dress. I knew by looking at it that it was going to be very plunging, the lower kind of square neck. So I ended up making a 12 for the B cut version, and it just was way too low on me. Then the D cut was it still wasn't quite enough coverage, and it is quite fitted around the bust area. So definitely, if you're looking at making the Daphne, look at making a 12, especially the bodice area first before you go ahead and make the dress up, because it is a fully lined bodice. So you have to make sure you get that bodice fitting right. But in the end, I got it to fit right with a bit of tweaking, a really lovely little puff sleeve. Will I wear it? Is it my kind of dress to wear? Probably not. It's not the most practical dress for me for day to day, but definitely a beautiful dress to wear out for a stunning night out or even a wedding or something like that. With the long line empire waist, it's got really nice shirring across the back as well to give that ease throughout the body. But a lovely design dress, but yeah, really gorgeous in this special lurex thread cotton lawn fabric. Really nice and swishy, and the colours in this are just beautiful. I do prefer a bit more ease throughout the body, throughout the bust for day-to-day wear. That's why I love the Valley so much, because it's got the design details there, but it's got the ease of wear. So this is another one I absolutely love. I've worn this so much already. The Shadow viscose print from Fabric Godmother again. Now the new pattern, blouse pattern was out from Pattern Emporium this year, was a Sweet Talker bubble sleeve blouse that I absolutely loved. I made it in a cotton lawn by Liberty, but I also wanted to make it in this really nice viscose, and I decided to morph a couple of my favorite dresses together. I made the top half is the Sweet Talker with the lower scooped neckline, and I made it with the Meet You There skirt, with the first tier being quite long and the second tier being quite shorter gather. So not too much gathering and not too much volume of fabric. Definitely exactly what I had envisioned it to look like. I love the colours, the beautiful autumnal colours, the big Matisse inspired print. It's swishy and beautiful, and with that bubble sleeve, it has a double layered sleeve. So make sure if you're making this, be aware that it'll give a lot of volume. If you're using something like a linen or a cotton and you're having that double layered sleeve, they will be quite puffy. So I really enjoyed making it in the viscose because it has that nice soft drape and billowiness to it. But love this dress, probably one of my next in line favorites to this Varley. But it just goes to show, use a bit of imagination, a bit of pattern hacking, and you can design your own dress. If you get a vision in mind like what I do, I tend to have this vision and go searching and searching for patterns. And then if you start looking through your favorite patterns that you have already and you can morph them together, it's quite easy to do that, and you can come up with your ideal dress. Now, the Cottagecore membership. I don't normally do pattern memberships. I find them a sort of a hard one because I'm not sure whether I'm going to like the patterns that come out each month. But I've got to say, Cottagecore Crew membership, I have not been let down. Every single month a beautiful pattern comes out that I'm just in awe of. I love their aesthetic. I think Cottagecore patterns are just so beautifully drafted, very classic, a very wearable item, and just the design to detail. I also love it with Heather Lou brings out the new pattern each month. She talks through a video and shows you what she's made and samples, and that really helps, I think. But the first year, they're into the third year, and they've got a really exciting year this year called Decade. So each month they're going to be bringing out a pattern from a decade, which I find really inspiring and really exciting. So the first year, I think their patterns are no longer available. The second year they are. So if you're thinking about getting their membership, be aware that they will discontinue the older patterns if you don't sign up. They'll let you know what's available when you do sign up. So I think that was a birthday present that I got. I decided to subscribe to their membership, and I've loved so far. I wish they would bring out some of their patterns in paper that are so beautiful, but maybe that might happen one day. But one of their patterns that I'd seen when I first signed up for the membership was called the Periwinkle shirt dress. And you know, I've got so many shirt dresses. I've got heaps of them, but sometimes there's something you're looking for, a little detail. And in particular, this one was having a grown-on cap sleeve, and I didn't want a sleeve. I wanted the grown-on sleeve for summer. I didn't want the collar. I wanted the higher kind of neck, the Mandarin style collar. And I love this because it has less ease throughout the front and more ease throughout the back because of that gathered yoke at the back. So when you have it on the periwinkle, you'll find it's quite a nice amount of ease throughout the front, and then you've got that nice movement throughout the back. So it's designed so thoughtfully and beautifully. And the tie is also another bit of shaping you can give the dress. So I love this so much. I made my first one in the Italia Jupe red patchwork fabric with my beautiful pigeon wishes buttons on there. Loved it so much, I went and made another one straight away in the other Atelier Jupe fabric, which I would say a couple of my favorite fabrics this year, or last year, 2024. This collection sold out so fast. It's so unique and beautiful. Their fabrics are just stunning. So if you see their viscose, don't delay on getting them because they don't repeat them that often. A lot of the times they will discontinue them and start a new collection. So yeah, you can't just assume they're going to be there for next year because they usually won't be. And I know that they are designing a beautiful new collection that I've just ordered for Feb, March. Their summer collection is coming. They come a bit earlier, so Feb, March we'll be getting those in. And the Atelier Jupe fabrics are just to die for. They've got so many beautiful fabrics coming in. They've got viscose and cotton lawns as well, and I think 3 new patterns, so which is very, very exciting. So I can't wait to show you their new designs. They are just beautiful. So these fabrics, of course, had to be made in the periwinkle shirt dress. I've worn these. As you can see, they need ironing. I've worn them so much already. It's the sort of dress that is not overly, too fitted or too dressy. You can wear it for every day with sandals, or you can dress it up, and which I did. I wore these out to the city for anniversary with little wedge or sandaled or high heel shoes. Perfect for dressing up and down, or even wearing open over a pair of bathers, or without the tie, just for like a smock style dress. But love the cap sleeve, love the fit of it, and I would say that is definitely my number 2 pattern of the year. I would say 1, 2, then maybe that Meet You There puff sleeve 3. So it's a lot to do with the fabric, I know, beautiful fabrics, but the pattern itself is one that you just can't go wrong with. So beautiful periwinkle dress. The last dress of the year that I made is a beautiful Miss Moresby design fabric, and I know a lot of you were in love with this box. This was the Christmas with Miss Moresby. We had 3 boxes. We had the Christmas market design, which of course is that beautiful Miss Moresby parade fabric, one of her unique designs in gorgeous cotton poplin, which feels more like a sateen. It's just a beautiful quality fabric. Look at the splash of color on that, and the design is so pretty. Of course, we had the beachside escape, and we had the bushland picnic fabric box as well. You know how much you love Miss Moresby fabrics. We are getting a new range of her fabrics in any day now, and I can't wait to show you the new prints that are coming out because they're just so, so beautiful. So we love supporting great Aussie artists and designers, and we'll go out of our way to try and get these fabrics in store because we know how much you guys love supporting your artists as well. So this dress was a pattern scout dress called the Ella dress. It is a beautiful bias cut dress. You can make it not on the bias if you prefer not to, but I've done mine on the bias. and it has a really nice facings on the sleeves, on the neck, a really lovely shape. If you haven't made a bias cut dress before, this could be the first one to try because Casey's instructions are fantastic. You've got an invisible zip in the back there, but just such a lovely dress, very simple. I wanted to showcase the fabric. That was my number one thing with this dress, but I love the fact that you can make it in like a linen, a plain linen would be cool for summer, or a really elegant, maybe a sateen, maybe a nice silk or satin would be beautiful for a night out. But love the pattern itself. It's really classy and very simple, and really with that boat neck. Very, very elegant, and I loved it in this fabric. So that was my last dress of the year. I wore it Christmas Day. Yeah, everyone loved it. So it was just, I felt great in it. And normally shift style dresses are not one of my go-tos. I find it hard to get the fit right if it's a more fitted style. But I knew with Casey's patterns that I would feel very safe and have my hand held there. And her patterns are drafted really beautifully. I love the look of her VV dress. That's one I would like to make. It's a shirt style dress with a collar and fitted throughout the body with that fit and flare style. That would be one I would love to make next on the list. After 3 moves around the garden, the sun's finally good, but I finished taking you through all of my dresses for 2024. I hope you've enjoyed that. I'd love to hear in the comments below which of these dresses was your favorite, or what you made for 2024. What was your favorite dress of the year that you would highly recommend? Because I know a lot of people read the comments, and that way you can spread all of your knowledge around. Word of mouth is the best way, isn't it, with patterns? And if you're not on Instagram, a lot of Instagram is great for showcasing patterns and sharing patterns around. But if you're not on Instagram, sometimes it's hard to know, other than doing a Google search, what the reviews are like on certain patterns. So I really love it when you guys put in your comments and your opinions there. That would be fantastic. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, I would love it if 2025 was a year you could do that. That is so wonderful. If you've been following me for a while, I really appreciate all the thumbs up, the comments, and the shares that we have for the channel. So it's always very, very encouraging to see a lot of you are watching that. And I know personally I love these kind of roundup videos. I've just finished watching Karina from Lifting Pins and Needles. She's amazing, the amount of garments she's made for 2024. And I've already got a few ideas from some of her makes on what I want to make for this year, because that's exactly how we get inspired from watching others sewing our wardrobe. So I want to link her channel in. I'm sure most of you already follow her by now, but her sew-alongs are fabulous as well. So that is all my dresses. I'll be back here with my separates in the next couple of days as well. So have a wonderful sewing week. Take care. We'll see you all shortly. Bye for now.